And I think our team did that, but I also got to give a lot of credit to Theodore for the way they battled in that game. That was I guess that's a 6-round boxing match, but it was incredible. I thought we had a lot of chances late in the game where we had the same looks over and over in regulation, and then the first overtime. In the last overtime, that was exactly the play that we drew up in the huddle. It was to get the ball to Jack, and we knew that he would command a double team. We put Terrell in the opposite corner. And one thing about Terrell that we've been saying all year long, that when the game's on the line, what makes Terrell so special is that I don't care if he's missed 20 of them. He thinks he's going to make the shot. And I always said that. I said it's in Jacksonville. You play basketball with your head, play with your heart, play with guts, guts. And Terrell plays with a lot of guts because he believes he's going to do it. What about Jack Klein, though, right here? 23 points, 7 rebounds. But when we really needed plays to happen and we needed someone to take command of the game, he did a great job of that for us. And that's no surprise. It's been his 3rd Final Four. Lucas, all our guys that brought the tremendous bench energy off the game. I thought the difference in the game, which I was so impressed with them, that I thought our depth would take its toll on those guys. And I looked at them physically, and then timeouts, they're cramping, they're having to bend their legs back, and they just kept coming. They just kept coming. That's what made it such a great game, was just the heart of their team, the heart of our team. And, I wish that both teams could advance from that game. But it was just a great game.
Question for Coach or players?
Obviously, we're going to talk about the shot, but did you set up anything for Terrell on that? Both of you gentlemen, can you just walk me through what you remember out of that?
I'll go first, Jay. Okay. Well, we drew up in the huddle. We ran a baseline out of bounds play to try and get me the ball kind of in the short corner area. And he said if I couldn't get a basket right away, then to look to Terrell in the opposite corner, and he'd be there, and just skip to him, and he knocked down the shot. So it was kind of for me right away, but if I didn't have it right away, it was for Terrell. So
Terrell?
I knew Jack had played so good the game that I knew that they were going to double him because of how he beast. So, I knew I was going to catch the ball. I knew I was going to hit the shot.
Terrell, your story, Coach shared it with us at Jacksonville. You go from JV when you arrive at Mountain Brook, losing a bunch of weight, JV to the BJCC to now this. What's this journey feel like, man?
I'm glad that I'm here. I worked so hard to be here, even when I was losing. When I went to J. Carey, I love basketball, and to just keep losing and losing, and finally being able to win, you know how it feel. It just feel good to finally work so hard and to get somewhere. To be where I've been dreaming about since I was 6 and 7. Since I've been here down here watching all the players that play here.
Other questions for players or coach?
Did you know you had that shot? What's it feel like when you range it up?
I knew I was gonna hit it. You feel me? Coach told me I was gonna hit it, and I knew I was gonna hit it.
Other questions?
Coach, I want to go back. Obviously, that's great. 45-34. It was almost kind of checkout time a little bit. Anything said in the timeout? You guys turned them over a lot on inbounds plays after that.
All we talked about was that in our minds, the game's 5 points or less under the 4-minute mark, we're going to win no matter what. That's just how we feel. So when we're down by 9 points, with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, all we're saying is we're pretty sure we can outscore by 4 points over these next 10 minutes or whatever that is. And that was our deal. I thought there were some possessions in the game where we were down, and I think that guys were trying to make home run plays. And what we talked about in the timeout was it's nobody's job in particular to get us back in the game. It's no one player's job. I think our players were doing it for the right reasons, but it was the wrong play. We had too many guys trying to make the home run play, and we talked about all we got to do is score 5 points and get stops over these next 10 minutes and make it a 5-point game under the 4-minute mark. That's all you got to worry about. Once we did that, we stopped pressing so much, and I thought it really helped us.
Guys, one more question so everybody can make their deadlines.
Jack, you look back on this run. I know it's 19 games, playoff games straight. Obviously, I'm sure this one took more or maybe as much than any other game, but where does this one rank up there?
It's definitely up there. Obviously, it's not as high up there as, winning it all. But it was a great game. Theodore played great. Hats off to them. Just a great game just for high school basketball in Alabama. And I'm just glad we could pull it out.
Coach,
Want to make one last comment of the stats. You always say this, and we'll get out of here. But you know, the real difference I felt in this game was this: we took 69 shots, they took 47, and that was caused by our defensive effort, which forced 26 turnovers. And that's a credit to all our bench players and the effort they brought.
we want TV to have a chance with y'all too,
Sure, no
guys.
problem.
Congratulations, thank you. Welcome back to the finals, guys. Terrell, you did make it, didn't you?